It's early morning in Cape Town, South Africa, and Chief Inspector Andries Venter and his team have been called out to an emergency. A dog has got himself into a terrifying situation.
There's a dog that's stuck in the pipe over here on this side. Apparently it's been here for about 2 days.
Oh yeah? The idea is I'm going to bundle this up and push it through from that side. Push it all the way through towards Kira. Okay. And hopefully the dog will jump out towards it.
We tried to get him with a catch pole. He's aggressive and just wanted to pull the catch pole inside. So we couldn't get it around his neck. So now we need to try and push him our way.
It seems that it's stuck in the drain somehow. And either isn't coming out or doesn't want to come out.
With the dog having been trapped for 2 days, time is running short. Venter hopes that prodding the dog from behind will encourage him to come out.
Can you go and check with Kira that she's ready? Okay.
Kira tries to coax the dog out from the other end.
Come, I'm just trying to help you. Hey, come now. Okay, baby. No. Baby, come here. Oh, he's so scared.
Anything?
He's here, but he's grabbing the catch pole. Okay. So each time the catch pole goes in, he goes further back to where you are. To where you were pushing.
Okay. I'm trying to push it through, but those catch poles aren't working, so
well,
I'm just going in that
Wayne
far.
went back to the SPCA now to fetch the rods. The plumbing rods,
yes.
so that's longer to push him. It's not going to work with me being in there with the catch pole because he just backs up.
Okay, because plan B would be getting the fire department to pump water out and just flush it out.
I don't like plan B. It's cold.
It's a safer.
Yeah.
Okay.
But first, they want to try longer poles. Inspector Wayne Hector arrives with them, but will they reach? With the dog frozen with fear and refusing to budge, it becomes clear the team are going to need extra help.
It seems like the dog really doesn't want to come out. I mean, clearly it's really frightened. So it's just going to take a lot of patience and a lot of different maneuvers to get him out there.
And found out whether they would be willing to assist us in flushing a drain. Irene Road, on the corner of Clip and Irene.
The truck through now.
Excellent.
The fire department arrive, and it's time for Venter's plan B.
All right, thanks for coming. There seems to be bricks or something in the center here, and it doesn't want to come out.
We tried with the catch pole already. He grabs the catch pole and pulls it in, so we can't use the catch pole on him. So the only ways for what we assess now is that flushing the water here, getting in this area, we close all that hole, and once he's out, close it with the net, and then we can use the catch pole on him.
The firefighters work quickly, hoping that by forcing water into the drain, it will flush the dog out.
Concentrate. It's coming. Nothing yet. I can hear him.
They increase the pressure.
Not yet. All we're causing is a puddle.
But even the force of the hose isn't enough to shift him. With no sign of the dog and concerned for his welfare, Kira decides to get a closer look.
Yes, now I can't see. Give me the red torch.
If she can hook him with the catch pole, maybe she can pull him to safety.
Listen here. I'm not messing with you anymore. Come here.
Someone sit on my feet.
Okay, tell him to stop with the water.
Stop with the water.
I got his teeth here.
Tighten it around the teeth. This water gets filthy.
No, Andries. We're going to pull you on. Okay. Okay, baby. Okay. Okay, come here. Come here. Stop this nonsense. You know you want to come out.
Someone get me animal glove.
At last, they manage to hook him, but he's not going to make it easy for them.
Can I have a leash?
Take the torch.
Okay.
Let me go down. Let me go down. Let me go down.
Can you grab him? Can you grab him?
I don't have him. I don't have him.
Hey?
I don't have him.
We got him? Oh, there's... Did you get your hand now?
Yeah. I need to get out to do this.
Okay. Let him out. Have you got him?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have to duck in the corner and you pull up.
Okay.
On 3,
2, 1, go.
pull. Up. Ow. Okay. Andries, no, pull. Pull up.
Okay.
Go. Oh. You got him?
Yeah.
They already know the dog bites, so they can't take any risks. He's got to be muzzled.
Oh, good wash now.
Take it back. It's fine. Carry him like that. Oh. Thought it will be a quick one. Turned out to be a difficult one. I will take it back to the hospital, report it to Lost and Found as a normal stray.
No, he's pretty scared. I mean, just the mere fact, everything that he had to go through, I mean, through the water, through us, like, trying to push him out, and he was just not budging. Luckily, I mean, we had the fire department with the water and just everybody's help in that and perseverance. So there's no way we're going to leave that dog there.
The dog could have serious injuries, so he needs to go back to the SPCA. After 4 hours battling to get a dog out of the drain pipe, Chief Inspector Andries Venter brings him back to the safety of the SPCA. He's clearly traumatized.
Yeah, this is one of the hardest rescues I've come across in recent years. I think it's just the dog's will to stay in that hole. That's the only reason why it was so difficult. But I had visions of it having to starve in that hole and us not being able to get it out. Oh, Joy.
SPCA vet Joy Barry needs to find out whether he has any serious injuries.
Okay, it doesn't actually sound like there's any
Breakages.
fluid in the lungs, which would be what I would have been.
No, they used a lot of water to wash it out. I think it's more in shock than anything else.
I think it's probably exhausted now. Try and then see if it can walk. What would probably have happened is it tried to escape and it was that it actually would be very stiff, like all the muscles like really get inflamed and
Put it on the floor.
yeah, yes please. Just want to see if it can walk. It doesn't seem to be limping or anything. Come on. Oh my God. Shame, I think it's just very traumatized. I'm just giving it a long-acting antibiotic just for in case. And a colchicine injection just because of, will probably have some muscle pain and everything because of trying to escape from the drain.
Put you to bed.
With no signs of physical injury, the team decides to keep a close eye on him to check there aren't any complications. But they're hoping that a good night's sleep and some TLC will be all he needs to bring him round. Meanwhile, 10 miles away, in a more affluent suburb of Cape Town, Inspector Nelson Sowati and Trainee Inspector Liesl Pienaar are checking up on a report of a man who has turned his garden into a farmyard and hasn't made a very good job of it.
Good day to you, sir. Your goats, I believe you are keeping goats here. So we just need to have a look at their physical condition and the living conditions.
Before they even get to the goats, Nelson's concerned about the dog.
Why does he look a bit thin?
To be very honest, he was very sick. He was close to dying 2-3 weeks ago. I don't know if he had a virus or something.
And it's not just goats.
that puppy, it's so sick, you know. Can you see the eyes? Do you know how infectious that is to the other animals? Yeah.
But I treated them with terramycin, and this morning I dewormed them again.
They're pretty lethargic, you know, they're just lying there. So I definitely think they've got some disease or ailment or something. I mean, puppies, you know, they're playful and, you know, running around.
How did you manage to have so many goats? I mean, such a lot of animals in the residential area.
Well, no one has ever told me I'm not allowed to have them.
Really?
And yes, and they've bred last week, and that has sort of also this year and the year before.
Accumulated
and that
the
has
number.
caused them to accumulate, that's right.
Now,
Chickens?
Chickens, I think there's about 60 chickens.
16 or 60?
66, oh.
How many horses are there?
There's 2 in the stable.
just 2. How often are those horses out of stables? I mean,
Every night they go out.
where?
Into the schoolyard. There's a big enclosure at the back here. Now they have, this goat is very old,
one
but
is
I can
thin.
assure you it's not my goat. It's not my goat. The owner lives in Montevo, but
How
he has
old is the goat?
I have no idea. The goat is here for about 2 months.
She must be as old as Noah's Ark.
Yes, yes, you can see by the claws.
The backbone and the...
The owner's obviously not aware of all the concerns, but we're going to try and work with that when we've done the whole inspection, just to try and explain, well, what all the concerns are. Maybe try and get some of the animals signed over or something, because, yeah, it's not good condition.
The female goat is too thin. That's
female goat.
yeah. That
Which
goat
of course
is.
is not my goat.
I don't
For
say
anything
she's
that's on your
under no
property, anything that's on your property is
Yes.
your
It's
responsibility.
your responsibility.
Anything.
I'm going to issue him a warning to take the goat to the nearest animal clinic. She is shockingly thin. These 2 we will have to take with.
But these puppies fell ill about 2-3 weeks ago.
So, I'm sorry, you said 2 to 3 weeks ago. That's a long time. At this stage, that might be too late.
Please, I would like them to come back again. I'm prepared to, even if I have to go borrow money now to get these pups back.
It's either we take them in and they're not coming back, or we can basically give you, for their condition and their symptoms, I would say 24 hours for you to take them to a vet and supplies of proof.
Please.
But that gives you 24 hours. After
yeah.
that, we take them. That's it.
Yes.
The whole situation is unpleasant.
Basically, what you then need to do is you need to improve the current environment. The first thing is the area is hazardous. Okay, there is lots of dangers around here. Okay, you need to make it more safe for them. Okay, I don't think there's enough shelter for all of the animals at the same time. This is also basically the more dangerous area around there, because I can see that's your workplace. I really don't think you have enough water for all of the animals. You have a lot of animals around you.
Yeah, but
Okay.
that's the water bowl.
Okay, but that's 1 bowl for 60 chickens.
We hope that there will be some improvements for the benefit of your animals.
The man has 24 hours to take the old goat and dogs to a vet, and 7 days to make improvements to his yard. And Nelson and Liesl will be making sure he does both. Otherwise, they'll be back with a court order to take the puppies. It can rain heavily in Cape Town, and to prevent flooding, the city is crisscrossed by drainage canals. Unfortunately, many of them have vertical sides, so when animals fall in, they struggle to get out again. Senior Inspector Kira Joshua tried yesterday to rescue 2 dogs here without success. Today, she's brought Trainee Inspector Liesl Pienaar with her.
One dog yesterday we tried to get, it was very hungry, so in the first try maybe passively try and get it. If not, if they just start running now, we're going to just have to go into reactive mode and try and get them.
Around the corner is Senior Inspector James Murphy, hoping to shepherd the dogs towards Kira and Liesl.
The tan one is very skittish, might bite.
The plan seems to be working as the first dog comes into sight.
Hey boy, hey boy, hey boy, hey boy. Come, come. Okay, wait, I need to get the, can you block him? Hey boy. Hey, hey, hello, hello. Here we go.
She's nervous, but not aggressive.
Have you got another leash? Eh? Here we go, boy.
Now the second dog's following the same route.
Oh, sweetie pie. No, don't be scared.
Both dogs look like pets.
Yeah, they look generally okay, so I don't know why they would be here. Either they fell in or were put in.
The one dog, she's got a collar on, so would be an indication that it is old.
1, 2, 3, up! 2, 3, there we go. Got it.
This is the second day that the dogs have been in the canal now. So it would be interesting to know why nobody contacted us.
Next stop is the SPCA hospital to see if the dogs are healthy.
Is it open? There we go. Come on. Here we go. There we go. Grass. How does that feel? Nice.
Vet Miles Penfold's first impressions are good.
Overall, if we look at the condition of the dog, it looks in really good nick. It's certainly got a nice coat on it. There's a possibility that she's had a spay. If they are spayed, then it's great. It means that they've got an owner who's actually gone to the effort of getting the animal spayed. Okay, all we're going to do is we just want to check the skin. Underneath, have a look and see, is there any reddening of the skin, any abnormalities? But the skin is looking nice and healthy. There's no real problems here. Just the body condition, the rounding of the muscles tells me this dog's really been fed every day of its life, pretty much. Both of these dogs, to my mind, have owners, and obviously we're hoping that they're going to come forward and claim them as soon as possible.
Both dogs seem well cared for. It's a mystery how they got into the canal. Now the SPCA will try to find their owner.
There's dead ones.
Horrific. These have basically starved to death.
3 months ago, Senior Inspector James Murphy was called out to a farm where he found a flock of sheep diseased and dying.
They've picked up mange.
Sadly, many were beyond help and put to sleep. But the surviving ones were placed under a quarantine order, awarded to the care of the SPCA, and have been receiving veterinary care. Today, Murphy is back with Dr. Frey from the State Veterinary's office. They want to see how the sheep are progressing.
We're hoping that the State Department's going to lift the quarantine. We are currently preparing a docket for the case as well, to charge the owners for the cruelty and neglect.
Dr. Frey checks for mange.
I'm happy. They're looking very good. There's no one that tried to bite the side or showing symptoms of itching, that something is left on them. So after 3 treatments, I'm definitely sure that there's nothing left. It's only a pity that they're looking bad because the wool is in different lengths now.
It's great news. Despite needing a new hairdo, the sheep are well on the road to recovery. And legal proceedings are underway to prosecute the owner for animal cruelty. 7 days have passed since Inspector Nelson Sowati visited the house where a collection of goats and chickens were being kept in poor conditions. Sowati has been in contact with the owner, who has taken the puppies, which were in need of urgent vet care, to a clinic. But sadly, they had canine distemper and were put to sleep. Today, he's back with Senior Inspector James Murphy.
Is he home or what? No? Think he's not home?
No one's home.
It's locked. Is it locked? It's locked. Oh, okay. We could try the neighbour's garden, see whether we could look over from there.
As they approach the yard from the neighbour's garden, it's clear that very little has changed.
What the hell is this? And the roof doesn't even look solid there.
The whole situation is appalling.
There's piles of junk here. There's wooden planks lying there.
The place is as overcrowded as it was before.
Well, they don't look underfed. Goats will eat and eat and eat. How many are there here, by the way? Let's get a head count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There's at least 16 goats here.
About 16.
Yeah. Pushing this guy to tidy up would be an ideal start for the welfare of the goats. Get these animals out of here.
It's a frustrating situation for Nelson and James. Although the animals look well fed, they deserve better living conditions, and they're here to ensure that they get them. They'll be back. It's another busy day for the Cape of Good Hope SPCA, and it's about to get busier for Inspector Conchita Milburn and the team she's assembled. They're heading northwest with the mobile clinic to try and improve the lives of animals in one of Cape Town's poorest rural communities.
Today we are going to an informal settlement called Scardelfontein. It's just outside an area called Philadelphia. I don't know about the living conditions or the conditions of the dogs, but we're basically there just to assist the community, bring in dogs for sterilization, take in any unwanted animals, and just inspect the living conditions, see what we can do.
Around 100 people live in this settlement, and as the team arrive, the residents seem happy to see them.
Dogs that need treatments, warnings issued for
Tied up, etc.
tied up, shelter, anything you can see.
Senior Inspector Kira Joshua starts to look around.
But the reason why we came out here today is because there was actually a call from the police saying that the people out here need help with the animals.
Charlene, has your cat been toegemaakt, sterilized? Because we're here today, we're going to sterilize animals if the owners want and bring them back on Wednesday. So would you like your cat to be done? Yeah?
Word soon gets out, and a queue starts to form at the mobile clinic. But fortunately, all of the concerns are minor.
It's gorgeous, huh? It's got like a Yorkie look to it.
Conchita inspects the living conditions of the animals, and she's impressed by what she sees.
Can we get those guys some fresh water, please? Clean water. You know, the community is full of pride. I mean, their dwellings are neat and tidy and clean, not like the other informal settlements that we've seen before. There aren't as many animals as I thought there would be either, but the standards are quite high.
Even though it might not be the rats, you can see the way they keep their houses and as well as the animals. There could be an indication that there's been another animal welfare society that's come in here.
Mobile clinic nurse Theo Ardendorf is also pleased.
But most of the people here actually want the dogs to be sterilized. It's actually quite amazing that they really, because most of them you didn't even need to motivate it. You just said sterilization and then they said, yeah, we can do that. So yeah, it's actually a good thing that we came out here.
And we see on the ears over here, it looks like it's the start of cancer. So is there another welfare organization that comes out here that helps you with the animals? No. So will you sign this one over? Okay, brilliant, thanks.
I think the main thing that we've targeted today is just sterilizations, because they haven't had that facility or that option. A few dogs tied up, but we've issued warnings, educated.
It's been a good morning. 17 dogs will be taken to the SPCA, sterilised, and then returned to their owners. But there's someone who needs a new home.
Okay, this is a puppy. It was it is unwanted. It's a female, and too many dogs on the property already. It seems fair in fair condition. Yeah, might be able to find a home for it.
The puppy will go back to the SPCA in the hope that a new home can be found for her.
Go!
2 weeks ago, Andries Venter and his team rescued a dog from a drain pipe. It had been stuck there for 2 days and was in a severe state of shock.
You got him?
The dog showed signs of aggression during the rescue, and the team hoped that it was just the trauma talking. At the SPCA, animal behaviourist Candice de Villiers has been working with him. But has some time and attention settled him down?
It's extremely scared and extremely nervous. with that kind of behavior, you would certainly not be able to at this stage adopt that dog out, and needs a lot of work. If you corner that dog, you would certainly get bitten because it has to protect itself in its mind. The owner was contacted regarding this dog, and she said that she did love the dog and she didn't want to come and fetch that dog, but it's been about 2 weeks now, just over 2 weeks, and she hasn't contacted anybody at the SPCA regarding her dog or made any attempt to collect her dog from us. We certainly need a good couple of months worth of work on this dog to try and build its confidence, gain its confidence, and then we would still be uncertain if it would bond with strangers. It would bond with the one person working with a dog, but would it bond with or accept other people coming into a home, into a strange environment, going back out into a strange environment as well?
Sadly, with the owner not interested in collecting the dog and taking into account his untrustworthy nature, Candice feels he's not adoptable. Inspector Nelson Sowati is responding to an urgent call in the Heideveld area of Cape Town. Trainee Inspector Moyo Mqa is already on scene. A construction worker has reported that a fight has broken out between neighbouring dogs, but the owners of the dogs are nowhere to be found.
There's a small hole in between, the fences, and I suppose they were barking at each other. And just the two pit bulls, they pulled the one dog into their own yard, and then that is when they start taking it.
Sowati and Moyo already know the dogs are dangerous, and with 3 of them still loose on the property, they can't take any chances.
It's quite an aggressive dog.
Is it?
Come.
The other one is...
Come.
Oh, he's still alive.
Yeah, he's still alive. He's not dead.
The attacked dog is clearly in need of urgent veterinary care, but Sowati and Moyo must first secure the scene by catching the remaining 2 dogs. And this is their yard, and they don't sound very friendly.
All right. Fine, Nelson. Fine.
Okay.
It's a tense situation. Moyo restrains the first dog, whilst Nelson goes after the second one. They move fast, but want to keep the dogs as calm as possible.
It's all right, boy. It's all right, it's all right. It's all right. Come. Keep it tight, keep it tight.
The other one can be loose, eh?
And
with the dog safely in the van, they can turn their attentions to the injured dog.
Yeah, maybe. I'll check. Well, this one, I'm worried about the breathing. The blood also bleeding. I'm not sure what part of the body is bleeding, but it's definitely through it's bite wounds, obviously. But that can be assessed by the vet as we get to the SPCA now. We're going straight back now.
The best thing now is to get the wounded dog back to the SPCA as quickly as possible, where specialist vets can take over.
It's easier to carry. Okay.
Okay, cool.
SPCA vet Miles Penfold arrives to examine the dog.
He's in quite severe shock at the moment. We have a feel underneath on the actual leg here. He's got quite a fast pulse, and it's quite weak. So what we're going to be doing is establishing intravenous drip lines, getting fluids into them as fast as possible, and then also we're going to be putting in some colloids, which will increase the oncotic pressure of the blood, just to get the blood pressure back up again. That'll all help the perfusion in the body, and then basically allow them to rest. So far from the assessment, this area here, once it's cleaned up, we'll see what's really going on. But this looks like the worst affected area at this point in time. It's got the marks on the inside there. There's been slash marks here, and all of these are little holes on the front here. Once it's shaved up, we'll be able to see it quite nice and clearly what's going on. But overall, it seems to have come off quite lightly. So it probably got into the yard, got bowled over, and then got chewed on his legs there.
With the dog's condition now stable and mainly suffering from shock and puncture wounds, Miles turns his attention to the other two Staffordshire Terriers.
From the pit bull in that they've got a much shorter head, they're stockier and the legs are shorter as well. So although you might get a bit of crossbreeding, this guy here, for all intents and purposes, is predominantly Staffy, just like the other one. They're actually great with kids, but with other dogs, they're going to love having a Barney. And yeah, so for this guy over here, it's made their day having the neighbour's dog come over for a Barney. And you can hear they're quite vocal. Hey, shh, shh, shh. So they're getting a bit noisy because they want some attention now. This guy over here, pretty much, I'll be surprised if we find any bite marks anywhere else except on the muzzle, because they will clearly win a fight with almost any size dog. Pretty much a course of antibiotics, some anti-inflammatories and painkillers, and he's as good as new.
Their wounds are mainly superficial, but the injured dog is going to need more specialist care before he's ready to go home. Senior Inspector James Murphy has been in contact with the owner of the goats and chickens living in unhealthy conditions. Today, he's back with his boss, Andries Venter, to check he's true to his word.
His dog is very thin. Yeah, it's a little old. He's very weak. He doesn't look very happy.
And as for the birds...
This should be a free range, not caged up. Okay. That I can accept, but I would like to see straw or something there, because they like to scurry, they like to look for food in between grass and stuff. There's nothing for them to do that there. They need to be able to have natural behavior.
Although the yard appears tidier, some areas still need improvement.
When the goats are walking around, this is dangerous.
No, this was only taken out this morning after we removed some of the chickens here.
Okay. That drum with the sharp edges, either turn it up or turn it up, because goats will go in there.
It was standing up, but I was scared the goats might jump on top of it, you know.
Then turn it the other way. I don't like these small spaces, to be honest. There's no natural habitat. For them to nest in, to forage in.
At my age, I don't feel I can take such a lot of stress anymore, you know? But my love for these animals has caused me to have all of them here.
I can tell you that if you don't comply with our request, we can take the animals away.
Is it?
Okay. In terms of the Animals Protection Act.
Okay.
We would obviously prefer the animals going to a better place than us having to confiscate them and having a whole court case and fighting with you over ownership. That's a dragged out story and a long story. So that is why James have been working with you and trying to resolve it in a long-term manner, in the interest of the animals.
But Venter is not happy with the condition of one of the dogs.
Let me rather take it with us, let the vets have a proper look, and the vets will then contact you. You do have a telephone number that they can contact you on.
I'm just on the cell phone.
That's fine.
The man is clearly making an effort, so Venter wants to work with him.
If I was you, I would move that cage, if I could, or not even move it, just open that door and put another fence right up to this door across here.
That was the idea.
Then they get sun, they can forage, and they've got shelter there.
Okay, I'm taking a picture.
14 days, taking into account that you've had quite a bit of time already. I think 14 days is more than adequate.
The dog will be taken to the SPCA and evaluated by the veterinary team to see if anything can be done to help it. Meanwhile, the owner must make the final improvements. It's a big day for Anne, one of the dogs rescued from the canal. Animal behaviourist Candice de Villiers and volunteer Malcolm Rhodes are assessing her suitability for adoption.
And this is a 60-second stand around. Just see what the dog does, interacts, if he interacts with the humans, basically what his mental state is, if he's happy or stressed. Could be a little bit stressed, possibly because his friend was taken away from him for a little bit. But with his coat, we would be looking at the heat as well. We're going to go over to stroking him.
So far, so good.
Seems to enjoy that. Wants more attention, more stroking. Quite happy to accept that from the handler and interact with the person. Okay, we're going to go over to the food bowl to just see the any food bowl aggression, which will also assist us to get the new owners, if they have young kids, to make them aware that the dog might be a resource guarder. Very happy to allow Malcolm to bother her severely. She's leaning against the hand, but she's not aggressive at all. The last thing that we're going to do is the loud noise to see how she responds to that. She's a little bit confused, not sure where that came from. Doesn't seem too perturbed. This particular dog is definitely a good candidate for adoption. I would advise that she would be able to go with a family where there's quite young children. Very relaxed, not hyperactive, friendly, affectionate, wants attention. Very happy to just be in the presence of a human, lies down next to the human. Would be a very loyal dog.
There's more good news. Inspector Nelson Sowati is making a very special delivery. After 2 weeks recovering in the SPCA hospital, Hond the dog, who was attacked by the two staffies next door, is ready to go home.
They're not anywhere near you to attack you, eh?
And owner Diane Fink is very pleased to see him.
Sign here for me just to say you've got him. And he has been neutered also, eh?
Thank you. So glad you're back.
Ek sien die neighbors vanoggend vroeg besig, want ek sê toe vanoggend Hannes, ons is jammer, né? Kyk ons kom al baie lank aan en ons is baie rustig en ons kyk na mekaar se huise, maar nou wat die honde betref, ek meen, dis ek net vanoggend Hannes, ek is jammer, maar ek sien Hannes is vroeg besig met die, maar hy gesê hy gaan te fence, hy is besig nou daar met die gras en hy gaan wys van die fence wat hy daar gaat sit.
The staffies are home too. And with the fence now fixed, hopefully they can learn to be better neighbours. There are 93 societies for the prevention of cruelty to animals in South Africa. The Cape of Good Hope SPCA receives over 6,000 calls every year, reports of cruelty and pleas for help, and some of them are for wildlife. The Cape Grey mongoose is a very adaptable creature, suited to a variety of habitats. A conference centre is probably a step too far though, and that's why Senior Inspector Kira Joshua has been called in, for the good of the mongoose and the centre manager.
I looked at the venues last night and I just had a glimpse of this thing last night, and it ran through the banquet halls. And I just decided to lock all the holes, just to prevent it from going through the rest of the building, basically. So I kind of cordoned the whole thing off, the whole mongoose off, at least.
Kira's brought Trainee Inspector Liesl Pienaar with her. The mongoose can't get out of the room, so catching him should be simple enough.
And what we're going to do now, which is actually quite perfect, there's not a lot of things that's around here. It's hopefully not going to be jumping all over the walls. We're going to try and use the box, try and get him into the box. So we're going to try and move the box to the area that he's in now. Hopefully, probably, there's not going to be a lot of running around and trying to coax him into the box. So, yeah. So I need to cause a distraction on this side, so he goes into the box that side. Okay, I just need no noise. Thanks. Put the box closer to that area. But make sure that there's enough room to close the door as well.
The mongoose has other ideas, though.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Don't open the door.
He's not. We're gonna have to catch him. He doesn't trust the box.
It's not that he doesn't trust the box. He's not getting an opportunity to go into the box.
Okay. Oh, come on.
Come on, little guy. We just want to take you out.
He's not gonna go while I'm here.
Can you go behind the door?
There's a gap there by the net.
Yeah, but the good thing is not a lot of hiding space, but there's also not a lot of place that he can just see as a getaway. Because now he's got this open area. The thing is, like, you can always have this, you think you have this kind of foolproof plan all the time, like when it comes to wildlife. But like with wildlife, each animal, you think you can predict how it's going to react, but you can't because that's why it's wildlife. We are going to get it. Just don't know how long it'll take, but we'll get it. Well done.
Well done, Hazel.
Finally, he's in the pet carrier.
I was surprised because obviously it's not a creature that lives between people. Basically, it's a more supposed to be a creature from the wilderness. Basically, so to me it was a big surprise to find something like that here. They are definitely beautiful, very nice creatures. Yeah.
Kira's already identified a good place to release the mongoose, so they drive there straight away. It's great news for the unwanted puppy picked up from the settlement. The SPCA Adoptions Department have found her a new home, and she seems to be settling in just fine. New owners Debbie and Loriana have called her Solo.
She loves eating. She doesn't sleep. I think in the 2.5 weeks, I must probably slept 11 hours.
Yeah, this is all day and all night. She will be playing at 100 kilometers an hour, and then you'll be speaking to people in the living room maybe, and she'll trot off to the room, and you go and look and she's passed out. So she's really a character on her. She's a Solo.
She's a Solo.
Yeah.
She's found a new best friend, and fortunately, Blue is very patient.
They have like WWF, you know, like wrestling, pulling and tagging and running and jumping and moaning, and yeah, they're just best buds, having fun, enjoying life to the fullest. You know when you see people and you say they're old souls? She's an old soul. She's like a grown dog in a puppy's body. I think she's a happy dog.
The Cape Grey mongoose captured at the conference hall has had a stressful enough time already, so the sooner he gets back into the wild, the better.
It's a great release site because we're in a nature reserve. We know that there is a food source available for the mongoose as well as water and that. It's not going to be an area where he could be harmed in any way by people. So that's why it's a great release site. He's off. I'm pretty sure that he's feeling quite ecstatic at this moment, that he's out of a very sterile banquet hall right now. Unless, of course, he had a taste of the high life with all the rich foods and stuff.
It's late afternoon. Chief Inspector Andries Venter and Senior Inspector James Murphy are on the last call of the day. They're meeting up with the owner of the goats. He's had 7 days to finish the improvements to his yard.
I have complied to just about everything that you people have asked me to do.
Okay, that's fine.
So you come in and you inspect her, and then after that, I don't have nothing to do with nobody anymore.
He isn't very pleased to see them, but agrees to let them in for a final inspection.
We wanted you to make improvements. You have made the improvement. I'm not going to write anything now because everything seems to be in acceptable condition, minimum standards, okay? Yeah. But we are going to do spot checks. You're welcome. Okay. We are going to come any time of the month and come and check. Okay. Once we're happy that everything's complied with and it's kept like that, we'll stop with the spot check.
After a demanding day, persistence has finally paid off.
He was extremely irate with us, very threatening, but I think at the end of the day, the fact that he's done everything we asked him to do, improve the animal's welfare, and I pointed that out to him, that everything that was done was for his animals. So he then used the word thank you, but whether he meant it is another question.
It's been a difficult case, but the owner has fully complied and put the welfare of his animals first.
Buzz, let's go. Come, Buzz.
No one came forward to claim the 2 dogs that were rescued from the canal. So after a few weeks at the SPCA, they have been found new homes. The Shepherd Husky Cross has moved in with the Casewell family.
She has fitted in beautifully with the family. She loves our other dog, Joe. She's not flighty or anything. She's quite a calming influence on the house, and she loves the kids. She loves being petted. She's just a gentle soul. She's a friendly, gentle, obedient young lady. Come here. He's my big girl. The kids had had a visit from the SPCA at school. Hannah had had a visit about 2 months before. They came and gave a little talk at Hannah's school, and she came back very excited from school saying, Mum, this and this and this happens at the SPCA, and you must never do this to dogs. And she had had this whole educational thing from the SPCA, so she was very keen if we got a second dog that it had to come from the SPCA. The SPCA had called her Anne, and the girls decided to change it from Anne. Anne became Roxy, and Roxy became Buzzer, because the local Xhosa name means don't mess with me. So we decided to change it to Buzzer. Everybody agreed we liked that. We're completely in love with her, all of us. Are we all in love with her?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
No, it feels like she's been with us forever. She's probably 2 or 3 years old, and it feels like she's been with us the whole time. She's lovely. She's a really wonderful dog.
It's a cute dog. I love it.